And joining us live now with her thoughts and what's next is Adrienne Batra, editor-in-chief of the Toronto Sun. Adrienne, good evening tonight. A lot to unpack here. What was your initial reaction to the part in which Mayor Tory said that he would be stepping down?
Well, I think like everybody that has been watching this as the story was breaking about the inappropriate relationship, there was probably a lot of calculation going on in the office of the mayor today or in the last few days about, can he survive this scandal? Can he survive the story coming out of an inappropriate relationship with a young staff member? And so ultimately that decision was made that he wouldn't and he couldn't. Look, the city of Toronto is going through a number of very significant issues, financial issues. We have the budget process coming up. We have rising crime rates that are being debated and talked about. So the mayor that is leading the city having a significant personal issue as a distraction wouldn't do well by the citizenry. And so, we saw John Tory take that decision tonight. It certainly upends a lot of what is going to happen in the course of the next few weeks and certainly few months until we have a by-election and a new mayor. But it is not the first time the city of Toronto has faced, as you know, a situation where we are, and your viewers know I'm very familiar with that situation, having worked for the former mayor, Rob Ford. The city will survive. The machinations of government will carry on, but it is leaderless right now.
Adrienne, when you take a look at what all has transpired tonight, and when Mayor John Tory has a chance to finally maybe have a silent moment to himself, what do you think he is thinking in regards to the longevity of his time in office, to his legacy, and what this announcement means?
One of the things that was so appealing about John Tory was when he came to be mayor all those many years ago now, it was to settle things down. It was to bring calm. It was to restore, shall we say, order back to municipal government. This doesn't bode well in that type of scenario. And I think that he probably has a number of regrets. I think that he is thinking about what his legacy will be. Unfortunately, right now, this is what it will be. This is what people are going to focus on, is that he had to resign because of a inappropriate relationship with a young staff member. And I mean, whether that's fair or not, I mean, we'll have to look at the body of work over the last, almost decade that he has been mayor. But I think in the course of right now and how sort of Torontonians measure it, they may say, look, things were fine under John Tory. This doesn't change my perspective of him or my opinion of him. But for the next week or so, as the news cycle goes, it will all be about this and less about any of the policy or governance measures that he brought in, unfortunately. And I'm sure that weighs heavily on him, just like resigning tonight weighs heavily on him, to be sure.
And what do you make of the timing of this? We're talking about an 8:30 p.m. press conference that was announced within 60 minutes on a Friday evening.
I think it was probably about 5 or 6 years ago, you and I were in a very similar situation with another politician at another level of government. Look, no good is coming from any politician calling a press conference after 6 o'clock. And so we had heard some of the news breaking and some of the reporting that was already out there, what we expected. We've all been hearing rumors that this story was going to break. And so here we are. But I think it was important that John Tory's statement, it was straightforward. It was honest and heartfelt, I believe, probably arguably one of the most difficult things that he's probably had to do. John Tory's not unfamiliar with being in a position where he's had to resign a position of leadership, but being mayor of Toronto was his the penultimate role for him. And millions of Torontonians voted for him 3 times. And so this is the biggest city in the country with big issues, big weighty things our city is facing. And now we have Deputy Mayor Jennifer McKelvey, who will step in as the statutory mayor. With all the powers of the office of the mayor, then we'll look forward to, I don't know how long the time frame will be. Could be 6 months. I don't know when we will have a by-election and a new mayor and new direction and new leadership. What that looks like is anybody's guess. But right now, Torontonians should be comfortable knowing that the workings of government still carry on. It's just now we're in this budget process and we have a massive, $800 million plus budget deficit. Taxes just got raised. And so Gary Crawford's been the budget chief for a number of years. Does he take the helm and sort of move that agenda forward, the financial agenda forward? Who is Jennifer McKelvey's natural sort of coalition on council? All of these things are going to unfold over the course of the next few weeks.
And what do you think this ripple effect has, from municipal to the provincial level?
Well, I think that there is going to be, a lot of questions, a lot of raised eyebrows, but John Tory and Doug Ford have found common ground on many, many issues. John Tory and Justin Trudeau found common ground on many issues. So when you work with someone, John Tory was mayor since 2014. And so it's a long time to create those relationships, develop those relationships with the other levels of government. And of course, with the bureaucracy and the city staff and other levels of government staff, how you work, what your cadence is. All of that is going to have to be learned yet again. But look, it happens. This is, again, we're not new to this scenario. I think what is jarring and shocking is there's a lot of people saying right now, we never expected it to be John Tory. So judgment calls are going to be debated and questioned and talked about. But as far as the city of Toronto and how we can move forward, it's going to require that by-election, a new mayor, new direction, new thinking, and some change. But regardless of any of that, there is going to be plenty of time to write in the history books of what John Tory's legacy actually is. But right now, it's this scandal.
Adrienne Batra, editor-in-chief of the Toronto Sun, thank you for joining us tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you.